Hello and welcome. I just decided, why not? So yeah, just thought I'll do a bit of a throw together thing. I haven't been here for a few days. I don't know, it's sort of been in a bit of a mixed up place. Obviously I haven't been feeling that good either with a bug, but and then bloody the chronic pain absolutely belted me for 6. So I'll try and straighten my camera up a little bit. How's that? It's pretty special. And yeah, well, I just had enough. Yeah, no, I'm good now. Thank you, Crypto Chat. Oh, Alex, nice to see you. Obviously, I'm just doing the scout, seeing if I can find a guest. Obviously, if you want to join me, Crypto Chat, you're more than welcome to join me. Just a matter of whatever it is that you're doing or whatever. I can soon send you a link. Just general stuff about anything and whatever. I don't care what it is. It's all good for me. I've got Alex here, and we got one little goat. His face is really dark, so it's hard to see his face. He's just a little boy at the moment, but he's doing good. So he's drinking properly and doing all the right sort of stuff. So that obviously helps. Pretty self-explanatory to say something like that, though, isn't it? But well, all you got to do is just know how to talk shit. With the 10 people that might view it, you know, like there's no harm done. You don't lose any skin. Like it's just what it is. I'll just sit here and just say something, pretend I know what I'm talking about. Just rest of it's just make it up. Geez, I need a light coloured shirt, don't I? Okay, I'll send you a link in direct message. I will go to Discord and I just got to find you first. I haven't messaged you for a while, so you'll be down on my list a bit. Doing it all one-handed at the minute. You got to be hiding here somewhere. Where are you hiding on my Discord? You can't be that far away. Oh, this one-handed thing doesn't really want to work too well. Oh, send me a message on Discord so I can find you easier. I've got that big a list that it's bloody difficult to see. Where are you? I'm not used to using a computer. That's the problem. That's everyone else but you. One of these days I'll find it. I'm sure you're on my direct message, were you? Positive. I thought I would have been talking to you before I talked to them. Can't be that far down my list, surely. No. Maybe you're just not on my direct message list. I thought you were. I have no idea. Send me a friend request. Positive you were there, but oh, that's it. I knew you were hiding there somewhere, but on the computer it doesn't have all the stuff like on my phone. But just join that, and then I'll bring you on. Yeah, I know you're a Dr. Mad. Yeah, I get all that, but on the computer I just couldn't find you. I'll have to get my headset ready, because otherwise I can't hear what's being said. Don't fall off, little guy. No, stay there. There you go. Now, yep. So that's it. I've got sound. Right, we are ready. Did you manage to follow the link? Hi, Ellie. Yeah, a lot better than the other day, that's for sure. The chronic pain is gone and me bug is gone fairly well. So, yeah, I'm doing really good, thank you. Yeah. And see our little mate, Thor? He's doing really good. You didn't get the link? Oh, man. I did send it. Yeah, I'll try it again. That's twice now. Otherwise, I'll send it to myself in here. And then I'll do it on the phone. Right. Now, I can get it. Yeah, man. Hang on. I'll just... Hopefully you get the link. If not, I will do it this way. Because I don't know. It should have... Damn thing should have sent. Copy text. All right. Now I go back to that. Aha. Looks like you're there. We made it. All right. I'll bring you on. G'day. How you going?
Hello, everybody. Hello, kids. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, Dr. Mad. How are you? Crypto chat.
I'm just here sitting in the garden with the dogs. They are chilling. We are chilling. He's sleeping. The other one, the little one there. I can see that you have a little calf in your hand.
No, it's a little kid goat, little baby goat.
The boat.
Yeah, little baby goat. But you know, he's very black, so it's hard to see him on the camera. But he's got this white bit through his belly, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a little goat. But he's only a new boy. He's been through his struggles, and yeah, he's doing all right at the moment. He's doing good. He's starting to put on weight at long last, so that's good.
Good.
So what's
So
happening on your side?
So here we are chilling, working on crypto as well, videos. Maybe I slow down a bit on the videos. Pretty much that's it. I've seen on Discord that you started the migration.
When the token's being made at the moment, yes, which is completely different than the one that we've currently got. The tokenomics is basically just what I put on the Discord, so it's really simple, but it's all reflections. There might be this is still the bit that I'm not 100% sure about, but there should be a component which has a little bit of a DAO, where the holders are allowed to vote on where some of those, a tiny portion of the tax where it gets funded to. Just trying to make it more of a community sort of feel to the token, because it's very hard in this space, because like the projects that are like the DeFi projects seem to be able to attract the people, but the refi type projects, it's very difficult to attract the people, even though it is what it is, but it's just really hard to attract the people. So, it's where we are now is just not the place. It's just, it's just too contaminated. It's too much degen. It's just too hard. It really is. It is hard to just try and formulate your community unless you're into all of that sort of fakey, hypey sort of stuff. It's just so hard to get anywhere in this community where we are.
What are the thoughts of the actual community with the migration, though?
Well, Grove blockchain is, I don't know, you're aware of Grove blockchain at all?
I never tried on it. I don't have it added on my wallet, but I will play a bit with it.
Yeah, they're only new, but that's obviously the blockchains that are more, even though anyone can launch any project on any blockchain, but some blockchains are leaning towards one thing or another, and they're leaning more towards refi projects rather than DeFi projects. So, it's the community that they've already got is sort of more into that type of stuff rather than, where we are with Binance. Like here, it's just all this, pump and dump degen stuff.
Yeah, it's easy to make a token, pump it, dump it, and run away.
Yeah, but we've just got to try something, just because obviously Calf is a legitimate project doing real stuff, and like where we are now, it's just very hard to get uptake of that when you see the other projects within our space, like World or whatever it might be, seem to get the hype. I know they haven't launched yet, so obviously they've got to go through their cycle, but it's just not my sort of atmosphere to be in this sort of space. Yeah.
What's the difference of refi from DeFi?
Oh, it's just regenerative finance. So it's supposedly crypto with a purpose. It has, like whether it be eco or in our case, animal ethics, things that actually do stuff, rather than like the DeFi stuff, which is, obviously all the decentralized finance, which is, making things that hopefully produce more passive income, or, that's the theory behind it anyway. But the refi is more of, projects with purpose. Like Calf has a purpose, like you can actually see what it's doing. It's presented to you, most days of the week. You can see something that's going on, even though you mightn't see, the actual, at the moment, you don't really see the support that it's doing, but you can see that that's the fundamentals behind it is something that's tangible. Like people go on about they want crypto that actually has a utility. Well, I'll give them a utility that's real purpose, real life, but then they sort of go, oh, we'll still prefer to do the degen plays on the DeFi systems. It's just really hard, but their community has already been tailored into the green, the ethics side of the crypto space. So I'm hoping that it'll be a bit different. And on there, we get marketing, we get support, we get all these added benefits from being on there, and we get live streams with their CEO and, with their marketing team that goes to their community to help us get the word out there. Plus, we can get listed on their centralized exchange, which is just happening right now, which means that obviously centralized exchange fiat straight in the calf, rather than having to go to, through the 10 different steps to go to your decentralized exchange. So it makes it quick and simple and, straightforward to do it, just like any centralized exchange does. And that gives us marketing as well. So we get, like banners, we get, on their centralized exchange, we get this marketing push to help us, that's only for the projects that have something behind them, that fit the refi thing. You can have him now. Thank you. He's such a good little boy. He doesn't move. But, that's the idea of it anyway. How it plays out, I don't know. But we've been messing around in this space for quite a while now, since January. And, to me, I just feel battered and bruised, and the community is not feeling much better, with all of the Brian Legend stuff that's happened. And so, what do? You just sort of got to figure out ways and just either keep flogging the dead dog like what we stay where we are, or do you just move on? Well, here the community is just feel that battered, and I want to produce something for them, of course. If you're a calf holder, I want to produce results. It's hard to do, yes, like there's no silver bullet and magic pill that you can take just to make suddenly your project go boom. All you can do is just keep plugging away. You know what it's like. Just got to keep doing your thing.
I think it will gonna be good because Calf, as well as few other projects that I'm in, it's very, very transparent, and how I see you doing everything and showing everything and always talking and asking the opinion of the community as well. Like a few days ago when you mentioned about to stop that Monday lottery, for example, and you ask the people, okay, obviously I'm always liking to ask why and why, but it's a good thing because you did many drawings, and you need to focus on something more important than that at the moment. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I know that you put a case for they keep doing the draws, but the thing is that, as I explained in the following statement, which was that the draws, when I found out that Vulcan wasn't, or SafeUX at the time, wasn't going to release on the 20th of January, and so then I couldn't uphold the idea of a draw, because it was purely dependent upon the rebasing of SafeUX. And so then I thought, well, I'll produce a token and use that as a utility, and then the token can buy into the token. The NFT can buy into the token, and we can use that as a utility. And all of that was all well and good, but now, obviously, 6 months later, we're still in this position of what's going to happen. And of course, that's 6 months of time has now passed, and still no blockchain, still no development of projects on that blockchain, still no volume, still no turnover, there's nothing yet. Like we still haven't got anything. And of course, they're changing all their tokenomics and everything. So it just makes it, what are you meant to do? So it was like, fine, okay, how about we just hold 5 on the draws, because they were just a gift to the community for 6 months now, and then allow us time to maintain the biggest treasuries we can, because with the new tokenomics is that there is nothing drawn out of the taxes for the treasury. So it just gets reflections the same as your wallet and my wallet and everyone else's wallet. So it has no advantage from the taxes at all. It is equal. But having said that, it's a large chunk because it's 23 odd %. Obviously, it's going to get a lot of reflections as long as we get volume. So that's why I was thinking I could use that as, because obviously, if just use this as a hypothetical, if Vulcan doesn't launch, or whatever name they have it as, if that doesn't ever launch and turn into success, then the NFTs are technically worthless, right? But I want them to still be worth something. I still want them to be worth something. There's 2 options. Either I continue with something to produce a result, or that I just basically give money back to the people that haven't won. I think that would be fair. Because you're not talking beat stations, it's not that big amount of money.
Exactly. It will be fair, let's say, it's not gonna be fair basically, because some people, for example me, I've been there probably for more than 10 draws. So okay, I did that, what it was, $20 ticket. So it's not a big loss. It's not a loss to say I had a chance. Somebody else won. So
but that's the thing. Like in the spirit of it, like I just want to be as fair as I possibly can to everyone. And we can't obviously control what isn't in our control. Like I can't help what's happened to Vulcan. I've got no control over that whatsoever. Everyone was promised certain actions to be done, and each time that has failed. But of course, what are you meant to do? Like you can, at the end of the day, I'm still responsible for my project, and I offered something on the proviso that something was going to happen, like the Vulcan blockchain.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't happened, it doesn't mean that I just write it off and say, "Oh, bugger you, crypto chat, you don't get any money, or any support or anything for your investment." Like I want to try and produce something, and with the way that Calf is set up, I can do it for many years, as long as I can provide value within the token. Because obviously, it's no point winning something if it's not worth anything. You've got to be able to cash it out and get something for your money. So, of course, I've got to look at the other side of the ledger as well and provide, some sort of value to the token, like hopefully a value increase or a bigger liquidity pool or something that helps you to be able to realize your gains. Because that is the idea. It's obviously you bought into, hopefully realize some gains. I know you realize your chances are not that high, but, unless you've got lots and lots of tokens, even our biggest holder, who has heaps more than anyone else, I'm talking like 80 NFTs, rarely wins those weekly draws, and it seems to always go to the small holders. Go figure. I don't know. People with 5 or less seem to be the ones that are winning. And it's just unbelievable how that happens. Yet someone with 70 odd just, is not winning the weekly draws. But when he does, he's putting it back into the community, because that's his heart, what he wants to do, to help the project with what we're trying to accomplish. But obviously we've had a rocky start, we've had a rocky middle, and now at the moment we've got still in the rocky parts, and some of it is my own doing, and some of it, well, you've obviously heard the shit that I've done to my own project, getting the liquidity pool pulled.
Yeah, but you helped after as I'm aware, you put the hand in your pocket and you took the money and you covered the loss.
I did as good as I could do. Like that was, but like within reason, the price was put back in within the zone. It's the best I could do. Obviously, it's not everything for everyone, but when you look at the market of the others in our little community, it was put back in the rightful place. So, but no one sold out, lost money, that sort of rubbish. At least I was able to pause the contract, deal with losses,
Yeah.
so no one losses, and 13 days later we had a token and we moved on. What else are you meant to do? Thank you, Gino. Yeah, I'm doing much better now, mate. As you can see, my persona, I'm starting to wave my arms around where I'm not in chronic pain. So I'm doing a couple of days ago, Crypto Chat, I was doing fixing some tires, and in my younger days it was a nothing job, but now I'm a chronic pain sufferer and on pain patches, pain medication all the time. And when I have a flare up, the chronic pain is right throughout the body, and it just really bombed me out. And so that's why the last couple of days I was just I haven't been on live stream because it's just been too hard.
Oh, hopefully you're gonna get well soon.
Hi, Miner. Thank you very much for joining. If you have any questions for Crypto Chat, please fire him away, because he's a little bit of he's been a bit stealthy here. He's a bit of a hidden gem. He's kind of knows a little bit of dev work and does a little bit of stuff. So I haven't said anything about you yet, and I haven't asked you, but yeah, do you want to give a bit of a thing about your history and what you can do and that sort of stuff, or whatever you feel like saying? You don't have to, of course, but
yeah. Hello, well miner. Hope you're all right, mate. Keith, I have another one question regarding this Groove. You said the name of the network.
Yeah.
So, what's does this network has a lot of users at the moment, or is starting now to pick up and is growing slowly?
Yeah, well, they're supposed to have like 150 odd thousand holders of their own coin, and they have and they seem to be more like the legitimate subscribers, because their YouTube channel, it's so hard these days, isn't it? Because we've seen it in clear sight over the last couple of weeks, when people set up these accounts and they set them up with bots and shit to get fake numbers and that, but they seem to get input of like 15 odd thousand people. Somewhere between 10 and 15,000 people seem to be active users within their community. So it does seem to be pretty good. What that means, I don't know yet. Like you could say, oh, but Binance has heaps more. Yeah, but we're not exposed to that. Whereas on Grove, we're exposed to the community on their live streams, and we're also exposed in advertisements on their centralized exchange, their decentralized exchange. Like we've got advertising with our name shown in bright lights to help people to have a look at our project, rather than like who nearly everyone would want to say, I'll have a banner ad, well, over there we'll get banner ads, like that's the thing they offer to support. Obviously it's all part of the package deal, but I've still got a couple of little hurdles to get to the biggest package deal, which is the centralized exchange, because it comes with a cost. Like it obviously costs us money, and because someone fucking stole the liquidity pool, it didn't make it any easier for me. But we know how much of a shit that is. But that's working with Web3 stuff, when you're not a dev yourself, and you can easily fall into these traps, and it obviously hurts, but that's life, isn't it? You just got to pick yourself up, dust you off, and go again, and don't fucking do it ever again. Like,
what's the centralized exchange that you're saying from Groove? That
yeah,
they
they're
have
just
their
launching it at the
own centralized?
yeah, they're just launching it at the moment. It's called GroveX, but they're in the process of doing their final testing phases now with live tests. So then they will have it launched. So basically, it's all getting set up where Calf will be one of, as long as I can meet their criteria for their centralized exchange, Calf will be one of the first projects on the centralized exchange, which means that we are more in headlines than anyone, because we are there as the trailblazers on their centralized exchange, getting front and center to what's going on, getting the advertisement, getting the eyes on our project. So hopefully Calf has some bright days ahead from that. But that's why, like, some people have said to me, oh, what about Vulcan in it? Well, I've always said that Vulcan is, number one, they've got to have a blockchain, and number two, they've got to have a blockchain that's working and is stable. You know, like it has to have those two things. Without those two things, then you might as well forget it. All right? Why would you lock up any money there?
And if they have this high tax, buying, selling, transferring tax, how I heard it, it will be a bit skeptical.
Yeah, over on Vulcan. Yeah. No, I think they're doing away with the taxes or something, aren't they? Like, to try and make it more competitive with other blockchains.
Is Calv gonna be independent now on its own, like without depending on Vulcan on the new network?
Well, if Vulcan actually does produce to be economically viable, in my opinion, then I will make a second token and, of course, launch it onto Vulcan, like you could on, you know, and have cross-chain interoperability, however you say the word, right? But really, Vulcan's got to prove itself. Like, it's got to be, number one, a blockchain, and it's got to work. It's got to have consumers. It needs to have the community that's going to be doing stuff, wanting to look for projects and not just be, you know, another Binance. It's got to actually be something like, and whether that, because I know they've gone for the creative side now, is the vote that's gone to the community. What that means for refi projects, I don't know. You would hope that they are a bit more of a refi blockchain if they are looking at real type creators, real type projects. You would hope that's the case, that there's some sort of encouragement to get, you know, real projects doing real stuff on their blockchain. Believe me, I don't understand what real actually really means, because we're all developing and learning this, because like there's no sort of mold to say, if you are in animal ethics, this is what you need to do in crypto. Like, no one's done it before, so to speak. So I know there's other projects that are doing things in the crypto space that have things to do with animal welfare and stuff like that. But, you know, everyone's trying their own different approaches at trying to make something that works. Yeah, I don't know. But the answer would be, to me, is that it should be seen as very bullish for Vulcan or any other blockchain that we decide to go on after Grove, because guess what? They get the visual eyes. Yeah, that's right. They get the community from over there looking over there and going, hey, oh, there's all these other projects that, well, guess what? You know, you share the love. You get the community to go between the two. So, you know, like, really, they should be looking at projects like what I'm doing and going, please go to Grove, get your community established, do all your live streaming, all your promos, get all your advertising, whatever, and then come back to us when we actually have a blockchain and something, and bring those people to put eyes on our project, what we're doing, and what advantages there are. And there's always creators out there too, that are looking for spaces to do stuff. Just because Grove is a community doing, like eco stuff or, like refi stuff doesn't mean that it's just refi stuff or eco stuff. Of course, it's the blockchain. It does everything, but it's as cheap as or a little bit cheaper to use than Binance, apparently. So, yeah, for cost wise, it's really good. It seems to have a good user community already, and it fits the mold to where Calf sits. It's different for other projects, of course, but other projects are more suited to where we are now.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds good and sounds like it's gonna pick up some extra people from the Grove community, and they're gonna join Calf. And how you said, it's gonna be like a little family between these tokens. And
yeah, no, that's right. It's like it's like Daniel Prado, right? I had him on my live stream the other day. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are giving him a lot of grief because of his passionate ways of being. It's just the way Daniel is. He's just different. But I don't judge his token at all, and I've never said that publicly, because people like you and me and anyone else can make up your own mind. Get your information from someone else, not from me, about the token. I can only tell you about the person, and the person is that he seems to be all right. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm not an adjudicator on that even. But, it's up to him to speak and to sell his story. And whatever his token is, it's like ESCO or whatever it is. You speak your story, you say whatever it is. This stage here is not a Calf stage as such. It's just talking to people about crypto and anything. I know I've talked a lot about Calf tonight, but, I know you're interested in what I'm doing. And you haven't actually really spoken that much. You've said a little bit in Discord, but you haven't really spoken that much. And you love to hear it from me, what's actually going on. And maybe some of this will relate to whatever you're doing as well. You might be able to look at little niche things or some sort of joint collaboration that goes, okay, well, we can help collaborate on these different aspects. Cool.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and I had a chat with a guy from the council regarding collaborations, but at the moment, is the migration process and all this. Definitely in the future, something is gonna go on, and somebody, sure, they're gonna contact you for a collaboration, and maybe that group network will be good. Maybe something is gonna go well.
I would say it would be. Like if anyone was like the problem that you've got at ESCO is you're entrapped within the one community. Like you're sort of hamstrung with that, and then. I know it's called justice now. I get all that. And there's changes to it, which helps to break away from that to some degree.
Yeah.
But, like really it doesn't take much research for someone to, do their own research to put two and two together and going, hey, I don't really want to have anything to do with this without actually knowing anything. Where at least like this, it helps to break down the barriers a little bit and gets more eyes to look at different things, and go, okay, a bit of this, a bit of that, and it's all good. Thank you very much, Ellie. Yeah, don't tell me you got your bloody migraine back again. Bloody hell. If that's what it is, I feel for you. Ellie's a sufferer of migraines and that, and yeah, it's just a shit of an affliction. When I had my brain tumor and my surgery, I used to have migraines all the time, but I had a cortisone injection just here in the back of my neck, and it fixed it up really quite good. And I asked the neurologist about other headache type pains. Just a heat wave. Yeah. You're still bloody. Well, are you still in Greece, Ellie, or you gone back to England? But
not Greece, Cyprus. No, Greece, Cyprus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right, yeah. Oh, you're reading that, yeah.
We are Greeks. We are Greeks, but we are Cypriots because we are from Cyprus.
Yeah.
So
The Grove devs are, yes. Same with the devs that I used as well to make tokens is also in Greece. They just seem to be where the devs are for some reason. There's quite a few, them, you know, like I know it's all part of your contact, but it's quite surprising when I had the information to send to the Grove devs. They were also in Greece, so it was like, you know, it's pretty common. I use CoinScope, and they had a developers that did
yeah,
contract work for them, and they were in Greece. So there you go. It's
uh,
Greece just
Thanos,
seems
I
to
think
pop
his
up.
name. Yeah?
Pardon?
It was a guy called Thanos, I think, and I had a chat with him in Greek once and some things like that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Ellie, she's trying to say something here in Greek. I am as well, Patrihara. I don't know what that means.
So you can read those fancy words.
Yeah. Yes, on the after the exclamation mark, but they are Latin, you know. Να φάμε καμιά πριζόλα μαζί όταν ανεβούμε οι σακούλες μας. So we're gonna eat a pork chop together when our backs they're gonna grow.
Ellie will be feeling
Oh,
at
what?
home.
I didn't know. I didn't know that she. So no, I'm based in the UK in Midlands,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
from Cyprus, from Limassol.
Yeah, because Ellie's from she's Greek, but she lives in the UK as well.
Okay. So where is Ellie from? From
Well,
Cyprus, I
she's
know.
originally from, yeah, she's from somewhere in Greece, but then she lives in the UK. So
There are many Greeks and Cypriots in the UK, especially in Birmingham and in London. There are big communities of them. But
hopefully I'm
it's
saying the
good.
right stuff, Ellie, because I'm not sure.
So yeah.
I'll find out. So
Regarding
you do?
what you're saying, sorry for interrupting.
No. You go. Yep.
Ah, I was thinking for regarding this migration and about SGO, what people believes now that still Brian is involved and all these things. Brian has nothing absolutely to do. And to be honest, before I have a friend that now it's in the team up there, and he was telling me, "Oh, this project is like this, is good." And I was like, "No, I don't want this project. Something smells weird." Until it dropped in the hands of the community, and I still was not trusting that much until the moment that we had a chat and he said, "No, Brian, he left, nothing to do." So that's why I feel a bit safe now. And it's one of the projects, the same like Calf, that I like them because of the transparency. So,
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And that's why, like, by all means, use this stage to say what it is that you want to say. You know, like, we're going to end up with about 30 viewers. Just say your bit, you know, like, and that's why it's good just to let people know that that is the case, is that Brian is no longer involved in ESCO, and you can see it obviously in the buy market anyway. You know, like, not trading it. Because obviously, you know, trades are a challenge now. You know, like you're meeting the real world where, you know, it's going to be challenging. The community can only do so much, and that's why it's really good to be able to get your spread between other places. But it's just a matter of doing that. It's a challenge. We're going to be paired. Obviously, we're going to be on the Grove chain. So I've put instructions in my Discord on how to put the Grove blockchain in your MetaMask and Trust Wallet. Because it's completely different network, of course. It's an EVM network, but it's obviously, instead of using Binance or Ethereum or whatever, it is Grove blockchain. And so we use the native coin, which is Grove coin, which is their coin on their blockchain coin. And that's what Calf will be paired with, is Growth Coin. Calf actually has a pairing with Grove Coin at the moment. I've got a liquidity pool set up with Grove Coin at the moment, but they're Grove token that's on Binance. So I've got a liquidity pool that's doing whatever it does. It allows those little bots to do their thing. That's why you see these $2 and $5 transactions and stuff. That's just their arbitrage bots doing their things. But it's just the reflections are going to be paid out in Grove Coin, not in Calf. So you get the native currency, like getting BNB for argument's sake. It's just the same. It's the blockchain coin. So that means that when I use the reflections, like to add to LP for argument's sake, I don't need to sell any Calf. Like normally a contract either does it automatically or you do it manually. You got to sell half of your Calf. So then you can get the BNB in the current case, or of course sell half the Calf to get Grove. So then you can pair them together and put them in the LP. But now that we already have the Grove, right? And so when we got enough Grove, I can sell half of the Grove to buy Calf, or swap, obviously, to get Grove coin, put those two together and put it in the LP, and it only makes green candles. So you don't even have to get a red candle to add to LP. So that makes it more bullish in itself, is that, it just makes it just another little tiny bit that makes it better on the chart. Even though you're adding to LP, it doesn't have any drain on the cost of the token at all. So it just helps alleviate those sort of pressures. Because unless you got lots of volume, those sort of pressures do mean something. And if you can eliminate that, well, that's bloody good.
So the migration, how is not the migration? The token is gonna be airdropped, or it's gonna be like you have to go and take it. Let's say to.
No, I'll airdrop it to your wallet. So whatever it is that you've got, unless you tell me what your wallet is, and I won't airdrop it to you.
Yeah.
No,
so look,
I did that already, and I got it 100% right. I never had one single complaint, and I ended up giving out the correct amount of tokens.
Yeah.
So it was, even though it's only like 170 times, but I don't use a automatic thing. I was thinking of using the DApp or whatever to. Yeah, that's right. But it was like $300 to do it, and it was like, man. And it was like $15 in gas, or even less than that, I think, to do it manually. So I was like, fine, I'm going to give myself, hopefully less than 2 hours of pain. It ended up being like an hour and a half. And I had the spreadsheet, so I could just copy and paste.
Yeah.
And of course, with the hardware wallet, you got to go through all the transactions. Press. So it was a lot of times doing that, 170 times. But as long as you check them all off and you just go through them, methodically one at a time, and you check them off every time, so you stick to the same steps, then you just can't make mistakes. Well, obviously you could, but you bloody hope not anyway, because of course, good luck trying to get them back.
Right.
But the last thing you want to do is, like, worst case scenario, if you make a big enough mistake, you obviously get a new contract deployed and you start again. But imagine going to your developers and saying, "Oh, can you just send me a new contract?" They'll be like, "Oh." Even though it's for them, it's a tick and flick, yeah. But you wouldn't want to be asking the question. It would just make you look like a goose. So, you just get them right. So it's about 170 times, about 170 wallets. I've got an airdrop, and it's not that hard to do it. You just got to be methodical and just go through it and do it and move on.
That's very convenient. Very, very convenient for the holders. Because
all you got to do then is obviously go onto the Grove blockchain. You've got to enter that into your wallet, of course, and then of course you get the contract for your token, and then you got to obviously import that contract into your wallet, and then as soon as you've done that, guess what? You've already got tokens there waiting for you. So all of the work is done for you. There is nothing that you have to do, except for obviously put the Grove blockchain and the token in your wallet. But the tokens will be sitting in your wallet waiting for you to pick them up. And then, of course, you can do whatever it is that you want to do with them. They'll be just, yeah, but it'll be just going back to being called calf again. No more V2. It'll be just calf.
That's good.
Yeah, because obviously it's on a new blockchain.
I just seen, and I'm really, really jealous now on Ellie because she's going to the beach. So here in the UK, it's not very good the weather to go to the beach. To be honest, now it's like we've got like a black cloud over us and sun just getting in from the holes.
Yeah, you're in summer. What's wrong with you?
So yeah, anyway, I'll have to leave after.
Sounds like it's hot. Where yeah. Well, thank you very much for calling in, and
thank you for the invitation. To be honest, I probably looked a bit frozen because it's my first live like this, so I appreciate that.
No, it's all good.
See you around.
Just thanks for a chat. Cheers. Take care. Thank
you. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you guys. See you, Geno. See you, Ellie. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Well, there you go. There's impromptu guest. I can lose them now, so hopefully I'll stop yelling. Oh, but thank you very much, Ellie, for calling in. Yeah, no, it is good, Jano. Thank you very much for being here, mate. The future is looking good, but it's just in this space, it's just bloody hard, but of course, no one's giving up. We're just doing what we're doing, but it is difficult, yes. But that's just the way it is. Like, there's no getting away from it. It's just life, it's just, what is it they say? If it's easy, everyone would be doing it. Fucking hell, crypto is that everyone's doing it. Well, that was good to have Alex or Crypto Chat calling in. Same person, of course. That's his real name is Alex. But yeah, anything at the moment is hard timing. Like I'm sure you feel it just the same, that the space is very difficult. Like we've all been beaten up lately. Like there's been too much attention on Brian and the comings and goings of that sort of stuff. It's just sort of taken the wind out of the sails to a degree. Obviously, all the projects in this space have been copping a bit of a flogging as well, so to speak. With the downturn of people's morale and whatever, or financially stricken. Like it would have been obviously so much better if Vulcan had have been producing any sort of results, like at least there might have been something to help these smaller projects doing their thing. It's just what it is. It keeps it real, I suppose. Sort of got to just look at the bright side. You saw Chuck Norris today, did you, Gino? That wasn't filmed today. That because it's been pouring with rain today. That was filmed like 2 days ago or something, but I forgot to upload them because we put the camera on his back. But obviously you can't tell that it was 2 days ago or whatever. But yeah, and eventually, guys, I've just broken 200 people too. Oh, look at that. Yeah, well, it's damn easy to say it now, though, Gino. 203 people. Hi, Chris. Oh, you just missed. I just had Crypto Chat or Alex on here from Esco. If you're wondering where he is from, on here having a obviously, mate, he just wanted to talk more about calf stuff, and a little bit about Esco stuff, but not very much. You can always join me if you want. I'm more bored and stuff. You always miss my lives. Is that like miss, like you miss and it's like, oh, or is that like miss and it's like, yeah, I don't have to put up with talking to him or listening to him? Chris, I'm going to send you a invite. Obviously, you don't have to. Oh, you're always allowed to. I did say that when you're on here. Even though, as I said, even though this is a calf, it's got calf written up the top here, it's not a calf live stream per se. You can talk about Esco. Obviously, I'm not into big shill fest, but I did have Prado on for 2 hours, belting my ears about bloody world. I'll just listen to anyone say whatever, like it's all good. I like the idea of joint collaborations, like people not getting shitty with one another and just working together, because it's just the type of space that we work in, where I think that even though you mightn't be so-called best mates with someone, it doesn't mean you've got to not participate with each other, like. And even saying that, I'm not saying there is any issues with anyone anyway. It's just what it is. It's all good. Righto, look at this. Hello, Mr. Chris Cruz.
What's going on, Keith?
Well, apparently you miss me.
My thing is that I always miss your lives. Like I don't get no.
Fine. I'll just do that. Now, what is it? You miss me?
Yeah,
is that what you said?
Whenever you have your lives, whatever, for some reason, it's just randomly.
No, geez, you're not getting the point, are you? You got to say that you're missing me. All right, let's try it again. G'day, Chris. How you going, mate?
I'm missing you completely, Keith.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
3 times.
I know. I wasn't listening. Obviously, I need to correct my bad habits.
Was that goofy enough for you?
Oh yeah, that's the great part about you. You talk some serious stuff, and then when I get a good laugh here and there too, so it's always very entertaining.
Well, it's like the because where we live, now since we've had COVID, we can actually make phone calls to make appointments with our doctor. So you don't actually have to go in physically and see them. Well, you still have to once a year, but other than that, you can just do phone appointments now. And that was one good thing that came out of COVID, because we live like 60 kilometers away from the doctor. So it's one-way trip. So it's very convenient for us to do phone appointments. And the doctor will ring me up and he'll say, "How you going, Keith?" And I'll go, "Yeah, I'm going right. Don't ruin it." And because obviously when you're talking to a doctor, like you just don't want them to give you news that you don't want to hear, isn't it? Like, yeah. And then he goes, "Is there anything else I could do for you? once you've gone through the things that you wanted him to do. And it was like, yeah, I could do with the winning lotto numbers and all this sort of stuff. And he spends too much of his time just bloody laughing all the time. Just, I can't shut him up. He's just laughing his guts out. And it's like, fucking hell, mate, you should pay me to give me a call. Because obviously I'm the highlight of your day. Like, you've got to deal with all these normal type clients, that just go, just sooking about this and that and the other, and it's like, you're not getting that out of me.
So how is are you okay to talk about this? But how is your health? How's things going for you?
Yeah, well, the chronic pain is a shit of a thing. Like the other day, you're on my TikTok or on my YouTube or whatever, are you? You see, I just changed a couple of tires, fixed a couple of tires, and I had a chronic pain flare up. And I tell you what, people that don't know chronic pain will think you're just full of it. But when you have a flare up, like you might have legitimate pain in one part of your body, like, for instance, my knees and elbows, right? Or my head. And you go, that's the legitimate pain. But then, of course, everything else hurts because you end up with all your sensories, your nerve sensories are saying to your brain, pain, 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 pain. And it just goes, man, and then you can hardly walk. Like, it just totally cripples you. And it doesn't matter how much painkillers you take. Like, when you're chronic pain, it is just chronic pain. It's what they call a flare up. And yeah, that's just shit. But other than that, I'm doing all right. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's important though. I mean, I don't know if it's something that you don't mind talking about or whatever. But
oh yeah, no, I've put it out in the public space because I have a lot of people that I've been able to help with their pain issues and different ailments that they've got. Obviously, I'm no doctor, but at least I've got experience where I'm able to participate in their lives to at least give them some sort of guidance to, maybe talk to your doctor and ask them about this line of stuff rather than this line, because this one here is more cancerous. Like with pain medications, obviously, ideally you don't want to take pain medications, but the new type medications they have, which is buprenorphine, has a lot less risks to do with like cancer and same with hormones and stuff in your body, less side effects than the old style opioids, and then less addictive and less come down, and there's less issues. And it's important that people realize that, because sometimes a doctor will just keep prescribing you the status quo, but not actually thinking of your true well-being, like trying to keep you away from the really bad drugs. Like, I know they're all bad, but the extra bad drugs that do the same thing, because otherwise they're just making situations worse rather than helping you. So yeah, with me putting me stuff out there, people have come to me a lot in private message and talking to me a lot about different ailments and just hopefully general help. Yeah
that's important. I mean, a lot of people oh yeah, crypto chat, that'd be cool.
Do you want to rejoin crypto chat? You can rejoin if you want. You've got the link.
Yeah,
he'll want to come on and have a talk about his ESCO, that's all, because he's part of the ESCO team. But believe it or not, Chris, these guys actually work with me behind the scenes on Calf. So so it's it kind of put me in a bit of a funny predicament when I seen what had gone on with ESCO.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, the guys that seem to be in control of ESCO were guys that were helping me a lot behind the scenes on Calf.
Oh, okay.
So when I found out that they were doing all this ESCO stuff, it was kind of strange, because whether to take it as a good thing or a bad thing or anything in between, I didn't know, because it was like, okay, what are you doing with ESCO? It was all controversial. Like, I didn't know. You don't know who's doing what with who. Here he comes. Yeah. He's jumping on now. So feel free to ask some questions, Chris. Like, go for your life.
Well,
g'day, Alex.
What's going on?
Hello, Chris. Nice to meet you. Nice to rejoin. So yeah, I was not sure if I was allowed to talk a bit about SGO before, and because it's a calf video, so I didn't want to be so irrespectful. But yes, how Kit he mentioned, I am helping for SGO now. I'm helping them. I am not part of the council, but I've got friends in there, and I give my part of support how I can do. And yeah, nice to rejoin. So if you have any questions or something that you want to ask me as well, you are free to go for it.
Well, but I know that you guys are referring to it as Safe as Go, but that's what I'm saying is as the rebranding has already started right now. Is the
Justice? Yep.
Has it launched, or is it
yep.
completely?
So so the name, we have the name, we have the Discord channel, so we make people aware and to get used with the name. The migration is happening in the first half of August, so up to the 14th, 15th of August, the migration should be done, as well as the website, like that we have people working on the website. And yes, it will be like the share split 1 to 1,000. If, for example, at the time of the snapshot, you have like 50 SGO. After the migration, you're gonna have 50,000 Justas, because it will be 1 to 1,000. So the price, it will be 1,000 times less. The amount of tokens in your wallet 1,000 times more, and the market cap the same. But that's like an incentive to approach and to attract new buyers in, because it's different when you spend $500 to buy, I don't know, 20 SGO, and it's different when you'll get 20,000 SGO, for example. And that looks nice in your wallet. Oh, I have that amount of tokens, like.
Yeah, there's a definite difference between seeing 20 to 20,000. Like it's obviously a lot different.
Yeah. I think that's great, and that's we've been busy with a lot of other things going on and everything, and I haven't been keeping much of an eye on Justice, but I think that what they're doing is pulling it together and everything. So I was hoping I had missed out on anything. So
it's everything fully transparent. Everything you can find it in the channels, what money they are in the treasury, the bots, the everything. So the council tries to stay with the announcements to update every time, but now in the last week there are not so many announcements, and you're getting all this FUD in the channel like, oh, announcement, please, we need an announcement. You didn't announce anything, but everybody's concentrating full on the migration, and they don't have time to deal with the announcements, but everybody's still there, like. So yeah,
I'm gonna send Fowler a link. Is that all right?
Yeah. Can you do that, please? Because I don't.
Yeah, I sent Fowler a link. I'm not sure if he can come on or not, but I saw him in the chat.
Yeah, no, of course he can. Yeah. But I was just actually scrolling through my phone, and I thought I had him on DM, but I don't. So there you go. I'm not in the friendly enough, obviously.
Oh. I'm sure he is. He always talks good about you, and he's got good things to say about you.
Yeah, I know that. He's all right. Yes, I get that.
He thinks you're goofy too.
I don't. Oh, righto. That's enough. See, that's an easy way to fix him up. I just do this.
I feel so much better now.
See, if he doesn't say the right stuff, I just censor him. You see, Alex.
I thought he just left. I thought like.
yeah, he just left. Yeah, it had nothing to do with me. Nah, nothing to do with me at all.
So with the Justice token, there shouldn't be any kind of I don't see what there shouldn't be any kind of FUD going on or anything like that. They're preparing to a migration and get everything set up. You'd think that everything over there would be pretty relaxed and everything. I mean, I guess people want to know stuff, and an update's important, but
I think that yes, like when you're trying to do your developments, like it's never fast enough. Like everyone just wants it like done yesterday, and and unfortunately, it just takes time. Like no matter how hard you try, it just takes time.
I can understand that. You're right, Keith. I mean, I would even be the same way, but
yeah,
I think more excited and everything. So
yeah, well, I think that's just the way it is, and you just can't really get away from that. Well, everyone just wants it now, and it's like, yeah, okay, but we just got to get stuff done. Like other people are busy too doing other things, and it just takes time. Like. And of course, on top of that, you've got to make sure that you get it as right as you possibly can, because you don't want to have to go through to trying to make a V2 and stuffing around. Like, no, you just want to get it right the first time. Thanks. Don't want anything compromised. You don't want security not right and any malicious codes, or you just want it right the first time. Thanks.
Yeah, to be clean. Especially now, it doesn't seem that clean. Everything is legit, but the contract doesn't show you that it's that. You know what I mean? So that's why it's another reason from going away from SGO to just as we delete that name of brand legend and all his things that he has behind. And yeah.
Well, unfortunately, that part of it is what it is. You can't just do anything about it. Like it's done. As far as the ESCO stuff goes, you just got to move on with whatever it is that you believe is best for your own community, and your community just go along for the ride with whatever it is that you guys are doing. And that's all. What else can you do?
Keith, check the private chat real quick.
Oh, we got a private chat, have we?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I was telling you, but I got to step away for just a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Oh, well, you said that in public now. It was in private.
But I figured you'd see it, and I was just going to go off. But if you weren't sure, I didn't want to.
That's not very nice.
I know. I'll be right back.
I'll miss you.
I'll miss you too, buddy.
Oh. Yeah, but so
I'm gonna stop laughing.
I've seen the comment when he joined, like with "I miss you" or something like this. There.
And that's right. I knew what he was saying, but I just wanted to turn it into that he was missing me. I know that it was missing the time zone, because we're 12 hours apart, because he's in the east coast of America, and he was just missing the show. Like lately, I haven't even been doing any live streams because I obviously been through some downturns, and it was like I just stepped away for a bit because I just couldn't be feeling it. But and then I was sort of taking the opportunity because it was a bit opportunistic, I should say, because Chalk wasn't feeling very good either, because she's had a very dear friend of hers pass away, so she's not feeling it at the moment either. So I'm allowed to say that publicly, yes. So she's going through some hardships herself. So yeah, it's that's just life's ups and downs, but it's coincided with me feeling down. So I was like, feeling down physically as well as with the bug, and it was like, that's the way it goes. Zero Cool. I haven't heard Zero Cool before, but thank you very much, Zero Cool, for joining in. Thank you very much. It's great to see you.
Zero, I'm back, but Zero Cool's a friend of mine. So
I guess that.
Yeah.
Whenever someone turns up and I don't know them, they're always a friend of Chris Cruz. I'm going, come on, what about me? But no, it's always Chris Cruz.
Well, if they're friends of mine, I'm sure they're friends of yours.
Well, if you would be so nice, Chris, could you ask them to just subscribe to my YouTube channel so then they can see farm animals and stuff and things that we do?
Yeah.
It's not a shilling type YouTube. It's just farming stuff. And but you know, if they wouldn't mind just joining,
It's
being
really
subscribers,
interesting.
Well, I enjoy your talks and stuff like that because it's just you you talk about freely and stuff like that. You got ideas and things and putting stuff out there, and then you got Chalk that comes on, and you just do all kinds of different things. It's a good time. It's perfect for me because it's in the morning, so I enjoy it. Yeah, Keith, you're a good guy, Keith. You're
my
good.
head's getting bigger. Look at this. It's getting bigger. It's getting
I
bigger.
know, I can see it.
It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger.
Did you guys get a chance to see or hear the Fowler and I do the X spaces, the Twitter spaces with Nick yesterday?
I haven't heard it, but I know that you were doing Twitter Spaces. Yes, I'm still learning that part of technology. I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, you should. It's a whole lot of fun, and you get the opportunity. And Zero Cool is one of the ones I want to try to get him to come on and give his point of views and stuff like that, and so get more engagement in the community and stuff.
You can get him on here if you want.
Oh, well, that's up to him. I mean, if he wants to, I'll send him the link, and he can come on, and we can have a discussion, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And then we did that Twitter space, and then we did. We were on with Mellow Fellow Crypto last night, and Nick showed up, and we had a great discussion there too. So, and the voting started and all that, and then a turn of events is tonight. We're gonna have Nick and Mike and the guys from Brewfied and Greek, and all of us are going to be on just discussing what's best for the blockchain and what's best for the community and all that. We're busy out there.
So you're talking a little bit more positively at the moment, I hear in your voice.
Oh yeah, I'm very positive. A lot of things that I've seen, and a lot of the thing.
I'm not talking about your bag. I'm talking about the blockchain.
Yeah. Well, but the parts that I'm positive about it is that I can really see that we have like a ton of people that. Oh, it's all right, buddy. Whenever.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
I'm real positive about it because of the fact that I have seen people in the Brewfied group and Vulcan and even in the Justice Discord and all the different Discords with some really good ideas. And it seems like they get drowned out because nobody wants to hear it and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like nowadays, in the last couple of days, and with all this stuff going on, there's a lot of people that are listening. And Nick is leading that charge, and they're able to get their ideas out there and have discussions about it. So I'm pretty positive about the way things are going for what Nick is wanting to do, and for the other projects, like God for Gaming and what Fowler's doing over there, Property Flex. Even with I saw the conversation that you were having in the Brew Fried about calf and everything like that. So I mean, even you, Keith, there's seems like a lot of good stuff is going on in different places.
Yeah, well, for me at the moment, I don't know whether you heard the live stream a bit earlier on, is that calf is like we've spoken before, calf is going to Grove, but that's not the end all and be all, because like I was saying to Alex and everyone just a short time ago, is that it depends, like Vulcan or whatever it's going to be called has to be, number one, a blockchain, and number two has to be functioning, like it's got to be doing something. But from that moment, then I'm able, hopefully, with establishing on Grove, I get a lot of marketing support, a lot of YouTube support from the management to help promote our refi project. So we've got a lot of different bonuses for being on that blockchain. We get listed on a centralized exchange as well, which they're doing at the moment. So we've got lots of advantages from that. But that should only be seen as an advantage within the current Vulcan community, or whatever it's going to be called in going forward. Because if we do happen to bring something back, then guess what? It comes with the community. Like, it puts more eyes onto another blockchain. Like it's what you need is to get source people from outside of your current community. And that is one thing that should be nurtured and encouraged, is for that type of thing to happen. And certainly not discouraged in any way. It should be seen as a good thing. I know it's a bit painful for today, but at the moment we don't even have a blockchain. So, obviously today is not a thing.
Yeah, and I hope that the input, and it seems to me, I've gotten the impression that Nick is really truly listening, and he's listening to the ideas and everything like that. That all these things can make the community and the blockchain better, and then that trickles down to all the other individual projects that are out there, and and it's good for everybody in the community, whether you are a stakeholder in the blockchain or not. OBZ, good morning, OBZ.
What about me? What about Alex? Come on.
Oh,
oh, look, and now look. Yeah, of course. Hi, OBZ. We're going to have to teach these people of yours.
Good morning.
You see how Billy comes in? He's like, "Morning, y'all." He's like, "I'm not making that mistake." Like this. And then, hey, OBZ, look at OBZ's comment. He comes in. There he is.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you. So thank you very much.
Well, that goes back to the point too. You were saying that me sounding very positive and everything like that. It's like, because we have so many people in the community everywhere that it's like they just keep coming, and there's so many good people and everything like that. They want to see good things happening, and in turn, these are things that are going to end up being good for them and everybody else. So.
My name's first.
Yeah, see it. He did. He was like, "You got to put it in there."
I'm invisible.
Yeah, don't forget this one. Hi, Crypto Del. Great to see you, mate. Oh no, you weren't being ignorant at all. I'm just pulling the piss, mate. It's all good. I'm just stuffing around.
Yeah, OBZ's one of the nicest, greatest guys out there.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it's very easy to take me the wrong way, but that's not what's meant. Like, seriously, I'm just having a laugh. It's all good. I love your work. Thank you. Cheers. Now I'm going to put a bit of a downer on your upper about the blockchain, right? I'll ask the question, why is it that it feels like they're all starting from the beginning again, when isn't it supposed to be like already launch time? Half a dozen times over. Why does it feel like it's got to be all done again?
Well, I think that there's a lot of things that, to me, just being on the outside, because I know very little about like blockchains and smart contracts and stuff like that. But me on the outside of that, I look at more as this thing is being stripped down everywhere we possibly can to find any issues that we would just that we don't want to deal with anymore. It's like, this is not going to be good for the blockchain, so let's not do it. Let's move in the right direction. And I hope that we're getting all the input, that Nick's getting all the input from all the people out there that know so much better than what we do. And yeah, I think OBZ says right is because the liquidity issue is that we might take quite a bit off the table to make it work.
But what a shit of a situation though, isn't it? Because we've been building up for this for friggin' 12 months or whatever, and like promised release on the 20th of January. And I remember back in November, Nick Caliani saying, or Caliani or whatever, sorry if I get the name wrong.
Yeah.
Saying that he foresee no issue why January 20 shouldn't be met. And yet January 20 come and gone. And then March come and gone. And it just kept on happening. Like, and yet now when it is that Brian's done his thing and gone wherever he's gone, that then Nick's there picking up whatever pieces, trying to put something with, you know, somehow being gifted the position as a contractor to be in his role when, you know, they say a vote, but it's only a vote of one person. And yet it's like you sort of got to just accept what it is, and that's it. Like,
well, I think one of the key things that we have to understand, and I think Nick addressed it. I haven't read everything that he questions he's answered and everything like that, but I do know I spent some time with him on lives and stuff like that. But I think one of the important things to understand is that I don't think we weren't behind the scenes, and
oh yeah,
with the way the previous guy was doing his thing, I can easily see that Nick had repeatedly been given directives that altered what he was planning on doing and what he was doing and all that. So I put very little faith in the fact that I do think that I saw a statement, and I would like it to be pretty accurate. So I'm going to kind of think it through. I do think I saw a statement from Nick saying that they did $25,000 worth of free development that they were not paid for. And they repeatedly and Nick said that the previous guy was so rude to one of his developers that he ended up having to leave. So it was like every single time. To me, this is the way I thought of it and the way I think of it, because like business with me that I'm used to and I'm familiar with. It's you have a client that every single time that you accomplish a milestone comes up with some other impossible or ridiculous milestone, and you have to basically start over and going in a different direction. And I don't know what Nick's situation is. He'd have to talk to that. But I think that might have something to do with it. Seemed like I get the impression from what I've seen and I've heard and everything like that from Nick and other people in the community. It was almost like, to me, I just get the feeling that what the previous guy was trying to sabotage everything to delay it as long as they could. But,
yeah, I knew there was some alternative agendas there. I don't think it was ever going to be ever released with his name. I think there was other plays being done that we're just not aware of. There was definitely a lot going on. That just always seemed to make it hard for everyone.
Right. And I don't think that, and I can't blame Nick for that. I can't blame
Nick
it's not.
That, but it's not Nick's fault.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying me.
I
can't blame Nick for that, because I know in the business world and the things that I've done because of delivering a product or an engineering line or a construction line or whatever, that you have those types of people, and it always ends up being something that they're trying to undermine and delay for something that has nothing at all to do with you. And it becomes one of those issues where it becomes very difficult to do that stuff. I could imagine Nick was in a bad spot through a lot of that stuff, because if he would have wanted to, I don't see why we wouldn't have been able to launch January 20th when from what Nick was saying and everything like that. It had to be something that it may have to do something with Brian or whatever. Oh, I don't want to say his name, but the other guy.
Yeah, I know. So the thing is, when you're doing a project, it's amazing how much is going on behind the scenes that other people don't get to see and aren't privy to. And so I could only just imagine, like, of course, I'm just speculating when I say this. I could only just imagine how much was going on behind the scenes when it was the way it used to be. And I bet you it was just in the way that it seems to be now, is obviously it wasn't an orderly fashion type exercise. It was actually just a schmozzle. There was so much just shit going on that just wasn't right. That just made everyone's job more or less an impossibility, even financially, because Nick stating that statement, where they were out of pocket, and losing his developer as well, or one of his developers as well, because of it. I think it was just like, seriously, someone just creating a shitstorm just for the sake of making a distraction against other stuff. And I know that I was used for some of that. Like,
oh yeah,
because
you were
there was
definitely used for that.
there was a lot of look at this hand here while I'm fucking up on this one. There was plenty of that going on. And and the problem is that I gave the opportunity there for him to be able to do that, like.
Well, he couldn't, Nick. He could, Keith. He couldn't take you up on that, because this is what I truly feel, and I don't have any evidence or anything like that, and I don't want to call anybody out in particular.
Yeah.
But I believe that all the delays, everything that was going on, all the undermining that he did of Nick and everybody, I believe that the money wasn't there, and he was trying to scramble to make it work. And then I don't think he figured he could make it work. So his plan was to push it as far as he could. And I think that the deleting the Safe Food Go Discord, all that stuff was a plan. I think I think he did all that stuff to create all this stuff, this absolute horrendous token that he's trying to put out there, all that stuff. And the way I see it is, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different, that is going to be handled a totally different way. And what I'm excited about, and what you were saying that you heard it in my voice, is I'm excited about the fact that Nick has come into the picture. He's listening to people. He's actually writing things down, following up. I've talked to him on lives with Fowler and I and Kryptonian and Greek, and all of us have been there. We've talked to him about stuff. He'll write it down, and a few hours later, I actually see a post in the Discord of what we talked about and what his follow-ups were. And I mean, he's doing that stuff. He's even, when people talk to him about things that he may not exactly agree with right now, he's still saying, "Hey, that sounds like a good. I'll think about it," and things like that. We don't ever have anything like that. We don't have anybody out. We've never had anybody out there that's like willing to actually listen to all of us, even the crazy ones, people that were like, "That's crazy," but Nick will listen to them, and he'll take it into consideration. That's what I'm excited about. And I don't know how the vote's going to go, but I do think that the mission that I had from Thursday night after Nick's live, my mission since then has been to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to ask a question and get it answered, and they were well informed when they went to do the vote. And what ended up happening is, you got people from totally different areas where they've been disenfranchised. Brian created an environment where everything was toxic, and he did that on purpose. It's a part of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, and he divided us to try to conquer all of us, and it worked for so long. But then when Nick came in and what he's been doing the last couple of days, you got people that I thought would never agree on anything, talking it out and coming in and saying, "Yeah, I agree with that. Yes." He heard me. We talked about it. I got aired out. Other people listened, and I understand why we're going to do it this way, or we're going to do it the way I suggested. Whatever. People are getting heard. And I don't understand why this is DeFi. It is literally, Kryptonian says it all the time. They need us more than we need them. And this is about community. And that is what I'm excited about, because I really feel like there are people out there that aren't going to be on the same page, but we'll be able to listen to them, and we'll understand them, and their voices will be heard. And that, to me, is what this is all about. So, as a huge statement, I apologize for rambling on.
No. What do you think about the Jason factor?
Well, I think this is what I think. I think that Nick, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen until we have the vote. I think Nick has put his
Yeah,
plan out
of
there.
course.
He's
Yeah,
going
you
to
start.
talk.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to talk tonight. We're going to bring on Mike from Brewfied. We're all going to hang out, and we're going to discuss real world issues that we have with the blockchain to make it a better blockchain and make it better for the community. As far as that goes, I think that if the vote is yes and Nick takes over, I think that Nick will do. I truly believe that Nick will do anything and everything that's in the best interest of the community. And I trust that decision. And, my opinions are, I don't see how Jason can, I just don't see how you can be friends with somebody for that long and everything like that. But Jason has made his case, and hopefully he can make this case with Nick and they can talk it out and they can reinstill, if Jason stays, that it's the community is behind Jason staying. And I hope that Nick understands that. And I hope that they all understand that, all the founders. If that vote comes back yes, if the vote comes back yes, this is Nick's show, and we're behind Nick because Nick's listening to us. And if Nick decides something and we don't like it, hopefully Nick can bring it to us and we can all get on board. And we can understand.
Because from my perspective, like the brew, they've always been seen as the fudders, but unfortunately, it's like with the COVID shit, the fudders happen to be the ones telling the friggin' truth all the time, doing, the skeptics or the conspiracy theories, happen to be proven more true than not most of the time. And it's the same sort of thing like with the brew. I just wish that, and I hope that with the talk with Mike, etc., that they can actually start to believe them in the evidence-based proof that they have that shit was going on. Like,
yeah, and that's the point that I'm trying to make is like
things done.
What you were saying about the previous when everybody had that sickness or whatever, pandemic, I guess what we call it. But when that stuff was going on, it was very clear and evident, and I see it between Vulcan and Brewfied. You got a group of people that have questions, serious questions, and when they legitimately and respectfully bring them up, I mean, coming in and like, you're all a bunch of jerks, and nobody's going to listen to that, but respectfully asking questions and want answers. And if it's a question that, we don't want to answer that, so we're going to ban you. The banning is ridiculous. I can't believe that people are on Discord in a place where it pretty much is free speech and people are getting banned. Why? Timed out if you're just like cussing up a storm or hurting people or something like that. Okay. But do you have to be banned? But that's my point, is that I think we're in a situation where we have someone where like Nick, that's going to be like, look, everybody's going to be heard. If you're respectful about it, you can ask him. It seems like he'll answer any question, but when you're mean, he tunes you out.
I've seen that pretty good on the Brew Discord, and on Vulcan as well, where he's been answering questions quite well. He's doing a good job. Yes, obviously he's a fish out of water, as he said himself. Because he's not a crypto project leader as such, a blockchain leader. He's falling into this sort of position, and he's got to learn his way, and that's fine. And he seems to be finding his stride rather quickly, which is great to see. Obviously, I want Vulcan Chain to be as successful as it can possibly be, because, like, unfortunately, I'm way too invested in Vulcan, and so and for my project as well, for the Calves, it has a lot of. It's not a huge amount in sacrifice dollars, but compared to the size of the project, it's a lot, because half of my NFT money has been put into sacrifices, and that was only between sort of December and when the sacrifices finished, because we did some ETH as well, and yet that was all gone. And I hope that I can bring some value one day to the blockchain. That's why, because of course I've got some Vulcan sitting there that hopefully will turn into something. And like if Calf can go on its way with Grove and then bring something back, well, then that's a good thing. You know, that's me trying to contribute my part. All you can do is get projects to bring new eyes into it as best as you can. Anyone can use the same community, but it takes a different sort of project to bring other eyes, fresh eyes in. That's the points that I'm making.
Yeah, and I agree with you completely. But I think that, and I'm not but to what you're saying, but I agree with your point and everything. But I want to add to the fact that I've seen so many things where, like, Brewfied will say that the blockchain needs to do this, and this will hurt them, this will be better for them, that kind of stuff. And and I've seen that, and now it's coming real. Like tonight, that to me, it's they have a voice, and now that's being listened to. So now, if I have more faith in the fact that we've listened to all sides, and Nick is going to make better decisions because he's well informed, and hopefully with all these smart people in the mix, that we end up having a situation where the blockchain is like 100 times better than what we were going to launch before.
I think before it was all just full of gimmicks and acronyms.
Yeah, and I think it was. Honestly, I'm surprised that we got as far as we did, but and now that I look back at hindsight's 2020, but now I look back at it, I am shocked that we ever even thought it was going to launch. I mean, it was like, really? I mean, look at all these gimmicks and stuff. This thing was, but I don't know, that's second guessing and armchair quarterbacking, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's easy in hindsight, isn't it? But like, I'm just not an acronym lover. I just don't like acronyms. I just think when people are making up acronyms, it's straight away, to me, it just says you're talking shit. Like, it's just like, oh no, fucking acronyms. Like, I know some of them are legitimate, yes, but when they just got this trend of just making acronyms that just try and make something sound different than what it is, it's just it just drives me nuts. And that's why I just don't do acronyms. Like, yes, I know there is a couple, yes, but like I say, in certain places they have their place. But like, as a rule, when someone just keeps on doing acronyms, that's like a big red flag to me. I just go, nah. they're just making up for their own failings. They're making it sound good, but it's not good at all.
And I know it's all funny when you think about it now. And then evidently he was live doing his thing a little bit ago or whatever. And I was like, I have no desire to even see any of that stuff. But
it makes you want to spew.
Yeah, I know.
Sick.
But I think somebody I don't understand why. I really think it's all comical if you start thinking about it, especially when now you see light at the end of the tunnel. You see something moving forward. I am a big fan of the other projects that Nick's working on and the community of artists and creators that he has. I'm excited about the things that will change and everything like that. If he gets the vote, yes. I'm not trying to sway people or anything like that, but I think this is going in the right direction, and I can really get behind it. But man, it is so funny to look back at, because I've watched old AMAs and I've watched YouTube videos and different things, and I'm thinking, what were we thinking? Oh, Shadow X. Everybody, when you come in here, you got to say hi to all of us, and especially Keith. You got to say hi to Keith, and you got to subscribe to Keith's YouTube. It actually is enjoyable. It's in the morning. It's kind of chill, and he just gives his thoughts and talks about different things and calf and everything. It's very fun.
But a lot of my YouTube videos are just farming stuff.
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
So I said that he had very interesting videos with the calves and the way that he's dealing with them on the YouTube.
Yeah, it's fun.
Real life stuff. But that's the thing, like, it's always going to be, like I was talking earlier, it's always harder when you're doing projects that are like real life, because real life is always more boring than the fantasy life. Like when someone's coming up with all these acronyms and these fancy terms and going, oh, how bullish that this can be, and it makes it sound like it's like, and it's like, yeah, but how does real life compete with that? You know, and that's where, you know, like when you're doing a real life project, it's a lot harder to compete with that, because, you know, like you just don't have that hype type stuff that you can present to people going, you know, like, oh wow, how bullish is this sort of acronym thing that I've made up? And you know,
it's all just a bunch of junk. It's all a bunch of noise to
yeah.
And it's funny how we were all like, oh, look at this, and we'd look at it and be like, oh, this is what it means, and this is what the tokenomics, or this is how it's going to work and everything. We're all just bought into it, and we're all like, this is amazing, this is great. And we got all our hopes up and everything like that, and we were like, no, he was playing us the whole time.
I'll tell you a fact from me, okay? No one has ever heard this fact from me in a Vulcan blockchain, okay? Now, I was going to launch on Vulcan, yes, that was true. But the thing was that I added to that was that it's got to be number one, a blockchain, and number two, functioning, like doing the proper thing. The reason for that clause that I put in was because of the tax structure that the blockchain had, and I really doubted that it would get any volume given the punishment that people would have to suffer to transfer and to use the coin to purchase things. And then the rebase mechanism, as much as they tried to make it, or the mathematicians tried to make it sound also bullish, is that my history of looking at rebase mechanisms is that they always go down and devalue themselves. And that was okay, I gave it the benefit of the doubt and said the jury's out, we'll wait and see. So then let's let it launch, let other people go on there first. I'm certainly not jumping that cliff, and then see what happens. That was my personal thoughts on Vulcan prior to what it is now, that there was just no way I could be a early adopter, you know, like be the first one or first group onto the blockchain, because it's really got to prove itself to me. I really had my doubts about the tax structure, and now that's sounding like it's getting dealt with. I know it mightn't be so good as Vulcan holders are concerned, maybe, I don't know, nodes or whatever, I don't know what the deal is. You would know more about that than I do, but the thing is that if it makes it sustainable and actually a blockchain that works, well then that's a good thing, you know. That satisfies my requirement to be on the blockchain.
I believe that Vulcan is gonna do well if there are two things that I am considering. If Brian left it and it's solely to the community and it's a group that they are taking care and looking after the project, and if they will remove that 5% tax, because what's the point of that 5%, even if you transfer, even if you buy, if you sell? I mean, I heard something that they may change it, but I'm not that much updated about Vulcan, because to be honest, I was not that interested in. So that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, the tax structure with the transfer and all of that, I don't know, it was just, yeah, it was a lot more expensive to run than a Binance chain, and yeah, it really gave me some doubts to how it was going to be. G'day, Crypto here.
I don't want to. So, did you see that comment that he had? Shadow X, one up above that. Brian just said in his AMA he's going to wreck. Well, can you imagine? Listen, this is the greatest news ever. This is a breaking news moment. This is something that we should all run with this. You mean to tell me the guy that ripped off so many people and it hurt the Vulcan community, the BrewFi community, and other communities out there, people that basically left Discord, left all crypto, You mean to tell me he's going to call us out and he's going to do something to wreck Vulcan? Well, I mean, you can wreck Vulcan because it'll be dead after the vote because we're going to rebrand. And that's funny that he's got the Vulcan shirt on in his AMA and everything. He's literally wearing a shirt of a scam project that is going to be dead in a few days if the vote's yes.
Chris,
rebrand and it'll be something else. And can you imagine what would unite this community anything more than to basically get Brian to say he's coming after all of us? Okay.
When I was on the Crypto Star Daily live stream, I was like, bring it on, bitch. Come on, bring it on. Come on. I know you wanted, Brian. Come on, bring it on.
Yeah. Bring it on, Brian. I have no problem with that. This is going to be awesome.
You might be 6 foot something, but you're just a little boy. You can't handle it, Brian. I know you're going to look at this live stream and you're going to go, "Oh, that Keith, he's such a wanker. I just can't stand him. He gets under my skin. He just gets me." And I'm going, "Yeah, fuck you."
Well, the thing that we're going to do is we're going to do it all legal. We're all going to do it. We're going to do it all legal. And he's just so funny. So upset about that. He wants to push everybody's buttons to get them all mad and everything. But we're going to do it the legal way.
The amount of shit that you tried to put me through, Brian, you got no chance, boy. You just totally fucked up. You're just making a mess. And just keep doing it, mate. Just keep doing it. Like, we love it. You're a fucking idiot.
He said, Shadow X says he said Vulcan was his. Exactly right. It is. It is yours. You can that's your baby. You can keep it because we don't want it. We're moving forward to something different. It'll be rebranded and you won't be a part of it. So yeah, keep Vulcan. Yep. That's great.
That's right. It's all yours, mate.
Yeah, you can have it.
No.
Anyway, guys, I have to leave now.
Yes, it's unbelievable to say this, but it's actually 11:15 here, and it's 15 minutes past my curfew for being on live stream because in my shed I don't have any ceilings and stuff, and like the noise of me just keeps everyone up, and it's like so. Yeah, I've limited capacities to do live stream. So, thank you very much, Alex, for joining in for. Letting us know a bit about Esco. You're welcome back on other times. Don't stress. I know that tonight got taken away with Vulcan a lot, but you're welcome back anytime. Don't stress.
I have no problem. I was just listening because regarding the names that you said before, Nick and Jason and like this, I'm not that. I didn't done my due diligence about, and I was a bit like trying to understand what's going on. But yes, thank you very much for inviting me to your live, and nice to meet you, Chris, as well, and the guys that they're commenting. Thank you very much, and have a good one.
Take care. It's great to meet you.
Thanks very much, Alex. Take care. Cheers, Alex.
Bye.
So what's Vulcan? Ha ha ha. And I was like, Vulcan. Never heard of it. I don't know. What are you talking about? What's Vulcan? I don't know what that is.
No, it's funny how it's got into his head, isn't it? Like he thinks that this Vulcan is it's in a completely different place than where it was. Like if he didn't do his little runaway with his if he didn't run away like he did, then Vulcan wouldn't have. It wasn't even in a position to launch, so it wouldn't have even had anything. Like it was all over, and yet we just like obviously we weren't privy to all the information, but essentially it was just all over. There was no way it was sustainable. It was going to launch and going to be anything, and yet how many times has he been on live stream making those promises to us, going, yes, it's going to launch. I promise you, I'm going to make you all millionaires and all this sort of shit. And it's like, yeah, righto, fella. Like, you're just so full of it.
Now all he's trying to do is make himself relevant.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's making statements.
But it's just funny.
He's on his live with his Vulcan gear and everything.
Because all he's got is these friggin' bot accounts messaging.
Yeah, that's it. He's got bot accounts and stuff.
And of course, alt accounts that are in there as well. That maybe even just talking it up, but are just full of shit. Because some people may be just playing games with you, Brian.
Right? He's just trying to make himself relevant, and
I know.
The cool part about it is that I think what will end up happening is 6 months from now he'll be it'll be a totally different world for him, and he'll realize all the issues and everything that happened, and we will all be sitting really good, and we'll be living better lives. Hopefully, we're making good money, and everybody's happy and all that. But we'll have a decent quality blockchain that we can all be proud of, and that we'll move all of us to bigger and better things. That's the way I see it. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel about it.
No, well, like you got to, we're in a position now where you got to give it a fighting chance. Like you've got one choice: either give up and get nothing, or at least have a go and do something. And if someone can put a strong enough case together, like what's being done now with Nick, well, then everyone get behind it, have a go. And if that means, unfortunately, we got to buy a booster, then just buy a booster. Like, okay, I'll commit, I'll buy a booster. And yes, like money is fucking hard for me at the moment because we're at the wrong time of the year where things are expensive. But I'll commit that if he does the right thing and gets all the right votes, I'll buy a booster. And if it might be seen as a stupid move or not, I don't know. But yeah, whatever. I'll throw another $150 or more at it, whatever. Like if it means that we got a fighting chance, well, it hopefully helps out the little guy to get a fighting chance, and if that happens to be me, then great, good on me. But seriously, Brian, you're just a complete fuckwit. The honeypot was just a stupid fucking move, you dickhead. Sorry about the language, everyone, but seriously, Brian, this is just you. You're a total fuckhead. So just keep doing whatever you're doing, just whatever. We don't care.
Yes.
You're irrelevant. You're nothing. We couldn't give a stuff. Like, you want to make yourself relevant, we don't care. We're not interested. I know you got brought up here because someone was watching your live stream, whatever. But it's just bullshit, mate. Like, it's just full of shit. Like, sorry everyone, but that's just the Australian in me, all right?
Yeah.
I don't mess around.
And you know what,
Keith? Say shit.
Okay, Keith, this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to commit to the point where I am going to talk the least amount as possible about that guy. And who cares? He just wants to be a part of something he can't be a part of anymore. We're going to make everybody's life in the community. We're going to make them better for all of us. So we're moving forward, and we're not going to be worrying about that garbage.
If we make this commitment between us YouTubers where we just don't talk about him, then guess what? He becomes irrelevant. Like,
if it's irrelevant and it's important to the community and everything, but if it's like he's like pounding his chest and everything, who cares, man? Who are you pounding your chest to, man?
He can do his thing. So what? Yeah. We don't care. It doesn't mean anything to us. Whatever.
Although I have to tell you this part. I actually think I thought I had seen, but I'll have to double check, and I want to probably keep it. But I'm pretty sure in one of his AMAs a few weeks ago, Brian mentioned my name, or he mentioned the YouTubers, and that we were all fudders. And you know what? I got a tear in my eye, and I was like, man, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, no.
I think, thank you, BL. If that's what it is, then I'll proudly be.
We love your heart, mate. We love it. Yeah. It's all good. I know. It's just one of those things where, like, seriously, I've been through the gutter that much, and I know I come from it a different perspective than you guys, and I've said this enough times. But seriously, like, I'm just fucking so sick of his shit. Like, I've had enough of those. There was a lot of threats made against me and my family. There was a lot of things done which were just absolute shit, and it was like all fueled because of he played his part in fueling it, and that's what happened, and he was very happy to use the community, which is all of you guys. Some of you guys that are in here right now, and I know there's one of these guys here in the chat here that actually called me after the event and apologized to me. And you know who you are. There's someone in the chat here that isn't normally on my live stream, but he actually rang me up to apologize to me because he realized that he was wrong and was calling me out for things, but he got fed wrong information. And that was the whole thing, is that, and I'm not going to say who you are, that's private. I don't care. If you want to, that's fine. It's got nothing to do with me. But I'm just saying that, that's the type of things that I've been through because of the other fella. And it was like, if I lived on the Gold Coast, I would give you a lot more than a honeypot, mate. Like I was tempted to even fly over there and give you a whole lot more than just a honeypot, because you did a lot more than a honeypot.
Yeah, but Keith, that's not the position that we want. We want, hey, you know what?
I'll take. No. This is recreational. I'll take him for instead of let's use that fishing line and let's go out in a boat and catch a fish. Like it'll be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Recreational
time. A nice conversation and all that kind of stuff, and end it right there. We'd be done with it. But yeah, I think that I think the important thing now is that we see when like his live and everything like that. I didn't watch it, but I'm just assuming, and maybe I'll watch parts of it or whatever, especially some of the things that Shadow X was saying. But it just seems like I saw the picture of it, and it's like, you know what? There cannot be any more person.
It wasn't you, Shadow X.
Any more person that's irrelevant right now than this guy.
Shit, I shouldn't fucking say anything because all these people are coming up. And
I think a lot of people feel that way.
They're not the ones that I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I think it's as a community, we're like, hey, remember what happened to Keith and everything? Well, hey, Keith, if I had something to do with it, I'm sorry. And I think that everybody feels that way. They're like, hey, listen, I was misguided, didn't understand everything like that. And
I completely get it. See, I'm the first person to like, I can have an argument with you, say, Chris. I could have an argument with you right now, and tomorrow I just couldn't give a stuff about it. I'll just say, "Yep, I'm sorry," or whatever, or you would say sorry, depending on what side we're on.
Well, because we're respectful when we,
we'll just move on, and life would, that's the way I am. Where I've got broad shoulders, I just let it wash off and move on. I have absolutely no hard feelings against anyone in the community. You were perfectly fine and led to believe whatever you were led to believe, and that's fine. There's nothing I can do about that, and it's fine. But it's just amazing in this space where a lot of people tend to jump to conclusions on narratives which maybe aren't as what they appear. But that's what happens when people want power and leverage. Unfortunately, you become little pawns to their little power plays. That's just the way it is, and yet me staying quiet a lot of the time doesn't mean that I had any guilt. It was just that I wasn't going to partake in those types of arguments because I never had the community on my side to be able to have that argument. Like I had zero power. I couldn't talk, and I had like anything that I had have said anywhere would have just been absolute.
Well, Keith, I can say that 100%. This is the way I feel, and we talked about it earlier about how I have a positive attitude. But I think people are. This is what I'm saying. This is the point that I'm trying to make. It ends today. It all ends today. It is over today. Now it's the time to heal our relationships, to come together, to be smart about it. Everybody has a voice. If you're respectful, you have a voice, you have a place. If you're disrespectful, you're cruel or mean, then maybe you should just take a break. But bottom line
Brett's in a funny place, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He was pushing so fucking hard the Brian line, and has really taken on the helping role on the defense of the community line.
Greek was looking at it for this perspective of the project and everything like that, and he thought about the community all the time. That's the problem, and things would bother him a lot more, but he wanted to make sure that he didn't want to let the community down and everything like that. And then when he saw some of the things, I mean, before most of us, he was coming out saying, no, this is not right, so he's the one that kind of enabled me and a lot of other people to stand up and say, you know what, this is not right. And we started going in the direction, but he was trying to be, I guess he was trying to be as diplomatic as possible, but not wanting to hurt the community and everything like that. And Greek is one that his videos and when he's on lives, you can easily go to, and he's got a level head about him. He's calm, he's intelligent, and you can actually look at what he's doing, and you can buy into the fact that he's genuine. He's a genuine person. He's just like you, Keith. you know, but the only problem with you is that, you know, you're just too goofy.
I haven't got a beard like his. Holy
Oh,
shit!
I know.
Has
Could
he
you
got
imagine?
seriously? Has he got a fucking beard or what? Like,
I'm
how the
telling you.
fuck does it get so?
And the funny part about it is, that, you know, he shaved it off a while back, right? And I hadn't seen him much, and I think he was on vacation with family or something like that. He might have been on vacation, but he wasn't on too much. And I didn't do too many videos because he's with family. And then he shows up. I'm like, my first thought was, did you glue a beard on you? Because just the other day I saw you didn't have one, and then he
I
had one the
know.
next day.
It's like goes like that, and it's like holy
If
shit.
he concentrates real hard, I bet he could just grow it. Like bam.
Fuck, if he was on, imagine him being on like Naked and Afraid or something, his fucking beard would just be like out here by the time he'll have an afro head by the time he left the show, wouldn't he? Like, holy shit.
Oh, so
go in there like this and then suddenly be out here.
Yeah, yeah. Greek is awesome. He's just a fun all around person, and he cares about. And Greek really, truly cares about the community, and that almost to a fault. Sometimes he would be doing that. But did you read that statement? So he has the mic off. Brian had the mic off for 12 minutes. God.
It's not like he's a noob. Like he's been doing it long enough. Like holy shit.
That's what I'm saying is, Keith, here you are on the beginning journey of your YouTube career and everything like that. And I could see maybe your first couple ones you wouldn't check the mic. You forgot to check the mic and did something like
fuck!
that.
I was having all sorts of troubles.
Yeah,
fuck.
He's supposed to
Holy
be this
shit.
mastermind.
Oh, especially when all the shit was going down. Holy shit. I was trying to get a fucking live stream on, and like I wasn't live streaming at the time, so I wasn't familiar with any of the procedures to make anything work. And it was like, how the fuck do I make this shit work when you got the pressure of everyone going at you from every which angle?
You dropped the F-bomb too much. You gotta stop. Don't cuss. I don't like cussing, man. I try my best to not cuss.
I said freaking.
Oh no. Okay. Well, just stick with the
sorry,
the G ones if you can.
Sorry, everyone.
I know. It's just me though. A lot of people in the community are like,
I just got to push the Australian back in the box, you know. He bloody comes out and I'll fight the bastard, but he's just he just gets the better of me because I've got these stupid little they like little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms where they can't straighten anymore, so they always look like them. Yeah, well, my elbows are fucked, so they always got bent arms. I can't straighten my arms anymore. Yeah, it's an Oz thing. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, but you know, like seriously, it's especially when we start to, you know, how Prado gets all passionate about his speeches when he starts really getting in the flow. When you start getting me passionate and I flow, my arms start doing this shit, right? and then my language goes all F this and F that, and it's like, oh shit. Keep your arms down and keep your mouth shut. Like just shut up and nothing bad will happen. But yeah.
Man. That's good stuff, man.
I'm told I've well and truly got to go. So
I'm sorry for keeping you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah. But it's too late, and I'm told. And the boy that's got to go to the dairy in the morning, he's telling me off. So
you better go. You better go.
I've got to do anything. So thank you very much, Chris, for joining up and coming on and having a chat. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. We're much more conversing now. I love the freedom of conversation. So thank you very much for that. It feels more comfortable, more normal. Let's call it. So thank you very much. Thank you, OBZ, even though I don't know who you are, but thank you very much. I appreciate you coming and joining Crypto Oz. Thank you very much. Shadows, Crypto here. I know at least you got a good pair of balls there, Crypto here. Thank you very much. You definitely done your fair share of goodness in your time. So thank you. Greek, yeah, I know I'm DMing you and saying the same stuff in DM about your beard. So thank you very much. Because I just can't get over how fucking thick it is, man. Like, holy shit. I'd be itching like this. Like, I don't know how the hell you handle it. But Zero Cool, thank you. Oh, Chris was here. Oh, Billy, thank you. Yeah, just thank you guys. And geez, I don't know, somehow you just turned up, Biz turned up. I'm just amazed that you turn up and suddenly I've got heaps of viewers. So thank you so much for that. Like, especially if any of you feel kind enough to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's only a little tiny channel. I've got less than 200 people, but if you want to see some farming videos, please just look at that. And of course, if you really choose to listen to this sort of shit, well, then that's an S word, not an F word.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's I'd rather build your community than some of the other garbage that's out there. So
look, at the moment,
anybody that follows me, if they can subscribe to you, it'll make their life better. That's why.
In all fairness, Chris, like if you go to the Calf Discord at the moment, like it's very hard to get any participation at all. It is absolutely torn to shreds. It really is torn to shreds. Over the because I've got a different sort of investor in Calf, because it's generally the people that have got medical problems that are dealing with more harder life issues that are less well, like they're not the investor sort of people that are I'm being stereotypical here, but they seem to be less of the people that have got pockets full of cash and doing degen plays. And so it's a very difficult sort of community that are very hard done by with the ups and downs of what's been going on. And yeah, unfortunately, like the guts has been ripped out of our community a lot with the occurrences of what's been going on, both myself and of course from the other guy. And you know, like it's obviously I did what I did, and you know, like I've set the record straight, you know, like done whatever I had to do to get it right. But that's not the point. It's still not a good thing. But I know my community was very supportive, and I actually never copped any flack from my community. It was bloody good. It was the wider community that cracked all the shits about me losing my LP and came up with all these things, and it was conspiracies and shit, and it was like, you know, whatever. But you know, like our community with the calf community at the moment is absolutely pummeled. But you know, any sort of support from any of you guys, just even join me YouTube or TikTok or whatever. You know, I don't care whether you invest or not. You just do whatever you want to do. Wherever you feel like putting $1, put $1. You can put it on Prado for all I care, or you know, Justice or whatever. It doesn't bother me. It's your money. You do what you want. But you know, just give us the time of the day to at least see what we're all about, to see, you know, like what we're doing on the farm, the animals, the things that we're doing, like, because it's real life stuff. I know it's not that exciting for some, but it's real life stuff. It might be a break away from your crypto life or something for a minute. You know, who knows?
Keith, jump down to the last comment so that people can see your Discord.
At the top.
Yeah, all the way down, the one from Biz, so that everybody can see your Discord and they can join it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's, yeah. Oh, Biz has whacked up me invite. Yeah, I never do that sort of stuff, but I do have it in the description, though.
I'm telling you, this is the day to rebuild. This is where it all changed. Today, everything rebuilt. So,
but I've always got on well with Biz, and you know, like he's been good to me, like through the whole journey. Like I started with my YouTube stuff in the LSC days, and you know, like he's been guiding me on things to say and not say. And he actually named me Keith the Crypto Farmer. And it was kind of, we were toying with that sort of idea, but he said the name and it was like, okay, sounds good. And so it was, because I'm pretty easy come, easy go, you know, whatever, it's all good. But yeah, I've seriously got to go. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Chris. And take care, everyone.
Take care, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Welcome. Thank you very much. See you later.